Hey everybody, good evening. Welcome. Welcome to Detox, and this is going to be our 100th class since we started the live streams during the quarantine. So, welcome to it. Hey Ben, what's up? Cheese. You want to come say hi? Camera's on. Come on over. You've never visited during evening detox. What would you like to say to everybody?
I got my camera.
You got your camera. Do you want to take a picture of them? Say cheese.
Cheese.
What else?
There's me.
There you are. What else, pal? What's going on tonight? How you feeling?
Good.
You're feeling good? Did you have a good day?
Yes.
What'd you do today? What'd you do today?
Aha.
Did you play in your playhouse? Well, does Mom want to come say hi too? What else did you do today? Peter says hi. Remember Peter from the studio?
Um, I can change this.
Ari, Emily,
I can.
good evening.
I can change this where you can't find your own thing. What can you not find?
Like a ball or something?
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna find it with that? What else, Bench?
I see a soccer ball.
You do?
Look.
You found it. High five.
Yes. Mommy, what do you miss?
Oh, do you want to? Bye. Bye, Ben.
Bye.
Can you close this? Thanks, buddy.
Wait, are you gonna be there out all night by yourself?
Well, I'm here, but I'm with my friends on the computer. We're all gonna practice yoga. I can't see them, but look, they're right there. Chandrea's there. Remember Chandrea? Who else? Andre's there, and Sasha. Okay, bye, Ben. Good night. Hi, Terry. Good evening. It's a special evening, I guess, since I'm on the deck now. An evening visit from Ben Rose before practice. 100. What's up, Ashley? Yes, if you're just joining, this is going to be our 100th class since we started practicing on this platform during the quarantine. We started on March 18th, so it's under 60 days and 100 classes. So I'm sure many of you have hit many classes and taken a lot of breaths, and hopefully those mindful breaths have supported you and continued to develop the framework as we took the approach and the structure of a yoga retreat during this process to help ground us and to process the emotions and the things that might be coming up in our minds. So I hope you all feel the benefits. That's what it's all about. We're still here and eager to practice tonight, and if we have the opportunity tomorrow and the next day. So it's nice to feel though that continuity and really to reflect on and some profound consistency that many of you have had. It's not easy doing this at home, and I think this, YouTube channel or the way that we can share the experiences here certainly helped me. So I hope you found that they've helped you too. Hi, Bez and Christine. Yeah, we should just have made it a pajama detox. That'd be sweet. We got a couple minutes until we get started. If you have anything else that you're still getting set up with, get whatever you need to be comfortable. I'm kind of curious, am I the only one practicing outside? I'm just wondering. I remember when we were practicing inside here, and it was pretty comfortable, but there's something about being outside if it's possible. And obviously I've minimized the presence of the mosquitoes by coming onto the deck, and I finally got my citronella candle, so all is well here. Derek 100. Roz, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Hope New York's doing well. Something I look forward to are the, people that are perhaps streaming from their television. There's no ability to type in or to comment and say, hey, I'm here. I look forward when we get back to the studio to seeing who's been practicing, but perhaps we never knew they were practicing because they couldn't comment from their TV. So that'll be interesting. All right, you guys, it's 7:30. I am going to start the playlist here on earbuds. And you can start your playlist on Spotify, easy enough. Pretty much in sync that way. Oh, thanks, Roz. Yeah, the skies are beautiful. And it's pretty cool to see how the, sky goes from that bright blue and then starts to fade into a darker blue. And these evening practices, the timing of them couldn't be perfect in transitioning from day to night and being a part of that process, letting your body soak up. And the energy as the moon starts to come out and create its charge. And it's pretty sweet, and it's definitely changed the evenings for me, so I hope it's done the same for all of you so that we're getting proper rest. That is the key. Our bodies will heal themselves and restore themselves greatly and build our immunity and strengthening our immune system while we're sleeping. And let's go ahead and start on to our backs tonight in Shavasana. Shavasana. Savasana. And as you lie down, make your back flat. And feel your shoulders, draw your knees in, give yourself a light squeeze, hands to your shins, but your knees can be wide. Flex one ankle, point the other toes on the opposite foot. And then switch. Flex the opposite ankle and then point the toes on the opposite foot. And let your ankles relax and bring your feet back down onto the ground. Stagger your feet and so they're as wide as your mat. And you can walk your heels down, say like in 6 inches further. You're somewhat like halfway between the space from your bum to the edge of your mat. And feet as wide as your mat, and then let your knees turn in towards each other. You can try to keep your pinky toes on the mat, but you don't have to force that. And so even if your knees don't touch straight away, give it a few minutes in the process of your body releasing and the tension letting go. And you'll probably find that your knees will end up touching each other. So wherever you feel tension, and relax it, take a few deep breaths, light sighs. And arms can rest anywhere it feels good, and you're welcome to close your eyes here as we make our way into our first shape tonight. Mind and your mental state, understanding now, certainly at this point, your yoga practice doesn't fix things. It doesn't have the power to control anything. Only a sanctuary and an oasis, and that we can find a sweet retreat. And when you involve everything, you're not running away. It does become a useful distraction, but it does become a landing pad, a secret sauce, a little hiding spot. And if your mind knows that it's a place that it can go and process and support you through the moments that life presents, that could be pretty sweet and really all we need in this relationship that is reciprocating your effort and your arrival on your mat, and to giving it all back to you with love and sometimes. But keep it light. It's all positive. It's all good. All right, take one deep breath as you exhale, and just let the feet ground down and the knees slowly come back apart. And then walk your feet back in a little closer to your bum. And bring your big toes together. Let your knees start to spread apart. And then lift your feet and bring the heels towards your chest. You reach your arms up, lift your head, and then grab around the backside edges of your feet. And let your fingertips curl underneath the soles of your feet. And then all we're going to do is let gravity come down through our torso and bringing our shoulders down onto the mat. And then your head all the way down onto the ground. Okay, so if this is pretty difficult, holding on to your feet, you could always wrap a towel or a blanket around in the edges of your feet and then hold on to the towel or the blanket. It just makes your arms a little bit longer. But you want to make sure that you're allowing your shoulders and your head to rest down onto the ground. You can be feeling something, but no need to hang out with your head hovering. That's just going to create more stress, and where we want to open up to release stress. You might wiggle the jaw if it's gotten tight. And shutter the eyes closed. Sensations, honor the sensations wherever they're showing up in your body tonight. And stay patient, everyone. Continuation from our practice and this morning in patience. And what's the rush? Where is everybody going? We've got such an interesting process of diving deeper into the clarity of ourselves and our lives. And so notice if your mind is rushing and to attach back into a distraction, which is normal. Many times, if you still have a lot showing up for you mentally in detox, if you acknowledge it, if you face the moment of confrontation, you acknowledge whatever it is, you literally greet it, and odds are that you'll be able to process and not necessarily see that in something coming up. You might see it come up, but the space between a little bit shorter and then a little bit shorter and then a little bit shorter, and then when it gets so short, and that's when you break the cycle. And through the mind, nothing you can force, nothing you can fix, but the cycle is broken. It's when something pops up once and then it shows up a year later, and it's a lot of life. It's a lot of space in between. If you want to know more about that, we can chat and further in that theory on our Yoga Life chat this Friday. And take 3 deep Buddha belly breaths here, please. You can be feeling this in your hands and your arms, shoulders and hips, and on the end of your next exhale, you start to let your feet slide. You bring your feet back down onto the mat flat so your knees turn up, and take both hands to rest onto your belly, please. And close your eyes, see what you see here in this release. Enjoy the next minute. begin to windshield wiper, and so you're rolling horizontally across your sacrum and the back of your hips. No rush. Taking your knees from one side over to the other side. And the next time you bring your knees to center, and wrap your right leg all the way over your left leg. And so you have eagle legs, inner thighs touch. And walk your hips over to the right. And as you exhale, roll your knees down to the left. And go slow as you come into the supine spinal twist. And your right arm can extend out into a half T. And left hand down to your outer right thigh. And make any adjustments if you need to soften your belly and reset your shoulders, reset your head. And let the breath be whatever it is. Obviously, twisting into your belly and your spine will naturally shorten your breaths. And so just let them come. And if you find that it feels good to take a little sigh, and you're welcome to do that here and there. If you want a little bit more, turn your chin off to the right. And you feel so heavy in this twist tonight. More space across your chest, soften your belly. I'm going to stay for about 1 more minute. Take a deep breath, and you're welcome to keep your eyes closed, but bring your chin back to center. And go slow. There may be some achiness here. Cricks and cracks and creaks. And start to roll your hips back onto the mat. And feel the softness in the right side of your chest. Uncross your legs. And let's go ahead and just release out. It doesn't have to look pretty. And release out into Shavasana, legs long. And hands onto your belly. Make any adjustments and so that you can feel your body square and flat. And let your big toes fall out. You remember back many, many classes ago where I was explaining that our bodies had 23 hours. If we're practicing once a day, 23 hours, well, now your body is in getting used to and conditioning itself for 11, 12, 13-hour increments in between your practice. And really, it's all feeding and adjusting through the body and to benefit your mind. So if you find that you're looking for something specifically, I encourage you to let that go. And just sit in the pose and relax the best you can. And bend your legs, bring your feet flat onto the mat. And take our left leg over the right leg, and like an eagle leg. You walk your hips over towards the left side edge of your mat. And then you can go ahead and roll your knees down to the right. Then left arm goes out into a half T. And right hand can rest on your outer left thigh. And adjust the shoulders and the head. And feel the weight of the shoulders, and that'll take you deeper into the twist. And this side might certainly feel tighter than the first side. You can always keep your chin there if you're looking for a little bit more. And turn your chin off to the left. It's a roller coaster, everybody. And this thing called life. And many times we enjoy the rise or the element of going up, and we don't really enjoy in that perspective of going down. In part human nature, But what we can explore here on our mat and through our breath and our practice is a level line. It doesn't mean the ascent and the descent doesn't exist, but knowing that a level line is there as well, it either gives you something to look up to, or something to ground you whenever you need it. And you can make up the meaning of your level line, whatever you want to call it. That's the fun part. Heavy in the back, space in the chest. And stay for one more minute, please. And take a deep breath, please. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed. Feel how far you've gone in this twist. And bring your chin back to center first. And then start to roll your hips. And remember cricks, cracks, and creaks. And bring your arms back as you uncross your left leg. And let's feel that space as you release your legs long. Might be a really good time and to let out a sigh or a little scream. And let your big toes fall out, please. See, when you first practicing detox, there's thoughts and emotions that are related to times and experiences, but then as you continue to evolve and grow with the practice, and there's just thoughts and emotions that are unattached, and they're beautiful, and you feel them, but you really don't know where they're coming from, whereas at first, and you have a pretty good idea where they're coming from. Let's go ahead and turn this thing around. Bend your legs. You roll through your left side and come around in pose, which is lying prone position on your belly, and with your elbows underneath your shoulders. And this will spread the front of your hips into the mat. Spread your knees a little bit wider. Untuck your toes. And rest the tops of your feet onto your mat, onto the floor. And once you get your elbows set, you're welcome to make a few circles with your head. Go counterclockwise first. And then go clockwise. If you want to, you don't have to. It's a good note in light. If you want to, you don't have to. And let this practice be yours. And then let your practice blend with your life. And let's rest our head back at center. And take a few deeper breaths. Feel your belly expand into the mat. And then from here, let's start to curl both heels in towards your bum. And they'll get sticky at a certain point. And then you're going to start to make your way down onto your chest. And you reach back with one hand at a time. And grab the outsides of your feet or your ankles. It's going to open up your belly and your rib cage. Again, if it's hard for you to get the hands around the ankles, put a towel around your ankles and then hold on into the ends of the towels, essentially making your arms longer. You'll feel that underneath your ribs and your belly, and then you can turn down onto your right cheek. And keep letting your pelvis and release as your hips spread and your tailbone drops. It may help in this variation of this pose and to take your knees a little bit wider, and if you need to regrip, and go ahead and regrip and then settle. If you got your cheek turned, bring your chin back. And then softly let your ankles slide out of your hands. Release your legs long and then turn your left cheek onto the mat. And with your legs straight. Feel the release here. And take a deep breath or two, and you'll feel the breath in your low back. And the belly fill up and press into the mat. And go ahead and turn your chin back to the ground. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And let's make our way up to all fours. Have your yoga block or your stack handy on either side of you. And we're going to set up for anything from the half splits into the full splits. So on the right side, bring your right foot forward. And you have your stack, and so you can place it underneath your right sitting bone. And then start to slide your left knee back. And flip your right toes up as you slide your right heel forward. And use your arms as sticks to balance. And then little by little you can continue to kind of work your way out anywhere from the half splits into the full splits. Keep your gaze down and chin towards your chest. And so many times our limitations are what end up in defining us and through our minds versus our versatility, true awakening and openness. It's just a little harder to find in the openness and versus the limitations. But as you sit in the process, as you sit and experience a pose like this, and you're going to be able to shed some layers. And when you shed layers, you're going to be able to see some light and positivity, goodness, and sometimes even greatness within yourself. As long as you're feeling this in the back of your right leg, you are good. You don't have to push it, okay, or force it any further. be heavy and your jaw soft. And little to no grip in your neck and around your shoulders. Let me observe 10 more breath cycles here, please. All right, use a little bit of your belly and certainly your arms. You start to slide your hips back and then bring your right foot back. And eventually your right knee can come all the way back behind you. And you're in a tabletop on all fours. And take a moment here. It may bring you down onto your elbows. And let your head rest and your eyes closed. You can let out a sigh. Let's see if we did anything, everybody. Come up to all fours. Make your way into a down dog and observe the sensation in your right leg versus your left leg. You feel it? In a class, everybody would say, uh-huh. I sure feel it. And make your way back down onto your knees, please. I bet you just can't wait to do the other side. And bring your left foot forward. And set your stack. And so it would be underneath your left sitting bone. And possibility is it's there to support you, and so you're not holding on and gripping. And then we can start to slide the right knee back. Anywhere from half splits to full splits. And flip your left toes up. And then slide that heel along. And get where you're going to be and start to settle the first phase of your splits. the jaw, chin to your chest. Enjoy the process, everybody. You notice how the mind has to go somewhere else, and besides attached into all the all the silly busy things. The mind has to go somewhere else and to be with the sensation and to remain still. And that's a gift, everybody. One more minute on this side. Go slow, little draw of your belly. Use your hands. And start to slide your hips back, and your left foot will come with. And bring your left foot back behind you. And we'll make our way back into a tabletop. No rush, come down onto your elbows. And let your head hang heavy. Let's feel this. Let's feel this release. And legs like you've never felt your legs before. And connected to your hips, connected to your spine. And hopefully a little bit more freedom and throughout your mind. And let's make our way back up to your hands. And then see if we did anything. And tuck your toes, press back into an easy downward facing dog. If you want to, you can even grab underneath the edges of your mat and so your knuckles are tucked under. And that way your hands don't slip. And then press the mat away. Feel your chest take a dive. And heels heavy, still lifting the lower half of your bum up towards the sky. Go ahead and bring your hands back onto your mat. And then lower down onto your knees, please. Untuck your toes and soft and short hamstrings and walk your hips back onto your heels. That just means your hamstrings can settle And if you need something underneath your bum in between your feet, you're welcome to place your block or any part of your stack there. And once you're here, take your right forearm across your belly, and then take your left forearm underneath your right forearm across your belly. You roll the back of your heart up, lift your chest, and then we're going to fold over our forearms. So bring your chest down. It's like you're giving your belly a hug. Forearms onto your thighs. And then let your head drop over your knees. And soften your belly best you can. You might be getting some interesting sensations in your quadriceps. And feel that as you begin to settle here. I hope you didn't eat right before detox tonight. And feel your jaw release. Any strength you're still holding on to in your back of your shoulders, let it go and fall in completely. Eyes are closed, and the head is going to come up last. Feel the tops of your feet and bum to your heels. And let's begin the adventure of rolling ourselves up. And with your eyes closed, one vertebra at a time. And keep your belly nice and soft. And eyes closed as you stack your spine. And rest your hands on your thighs, palms face down. Head above your heart. And go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. Fill your chest, feel your lungs. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh. And do two more like that. And let your breath fall out. Feel the complete relaxation here. Trace the openness from your body to your mind and to your soul. When you're ready, you're welcome to grab a sip and then go ahead and rock to a hip and turn around to lie down onto your back, please. And let your legs release, your chest face the sky. And coming into our final Shavasana this evening. We're getting this incredible blast of wind right now. The wind sweeps things away, moves things around. That which is unsettled continues onward. That which is grounded exists where it is. And so see these things that have stuck with you, right, that have stood the test of time, as they say. Even as the conditions of your life has changed these parts of yourself that have always been there. You may have incredible access and clarity into those parts right now. And all the other shit, you could let it go. And I leave here with you in Shavasana, and you can stay as long as you want and discover, and you take a trip and go wherever your meditation takes you. Us in practicing for 1 hour, 30 hours, 50 hours, or all 100 hours. Our hearts are grateful. Our minds becoming more clear. The emotions lessening their attachment and grip, and that they influence our actions. It's so nice to share the practice with each of you, so I thank you. From our home to your home, from our city to your city, from our state, country, and to every single edge of this beautiful world that we are so fortunate to be on. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning for our 10 a.m. practice. Have a beautiful night, everybody. Happy 100. Namaste.